Everyone is telling you to spend hours on LinkedIn. Comment 50 times a day. Engage 30 minutes before your post and after your post. Be active, be present, be everywhere. And here's the thing. If you want to become a LinkedIn influencer, that's correct advice. The creators who build massive audiences, they are on the platform basically 24/7, right? That's literally their job. And they should be doing all of that. That's right. But what nobody tells you is you are most likely not trying to become an influencer. You are a founder. You don't need 100,000 followers. You need 100 of the right people paying attention. And for that, you need a completely different playbook. So let me break down what's actually happening here, right? Most LinkedIn advice comes from, drumroll, LinkedIn creators. That's their whole business model. They sell courses about LinkedIn, coaching about LinkedIn, and content about LinkedIn. And they are on the platform 4 to 6 hours every single day. And they should be. That is literally their job. LinkedIn is their product. But they are teaching you their game. Build a massive audience, become famous, monetize the attention. Your game as a founder, as a solopreneur, as a coach or consultant is completely different. You have products to build, customers to serve, businesses to run. LinkedIn is important. It's probably your most important channel, and it is an awesome channel, but it's not your whole business, is it? You need to generate pipeline, build credibility, attract opportunities. You do not need to become famous and go viral. This mismatch is where the burnout comes from. You try the creator advice. Week 1, you're motivated, posting daily, commenting everywhere. Week 3, you're exhausted and falling behind on your actual work. Week 5, you tell yourself, LinkedIn doesn't work for me, and you quit. This is exactly what happened to me when I started on LinkedIn doing lead gen for my web development agency. I was following the wrong advice. But actually, it's not that the advice is wrong. It's just not the right advice for you. Has anyone else felt this? Like, you know that LinkedIn is important, but every time you try to do it right, it just takes over. Drop a comment. I'm curious how many of you have hit this exact wall. So here's the mindset shift. The problem is not knowing what to do. We all know what to do. It's doing it consistently without it taking over your life. And I guess there's 2 approaches to this. There's the grind approach, what I guess most people do. You open LinkedIn when you remember, or when you get bored and the dopamine addiction sucks you into opening it. You post when inspiration hits. You comment when you have time. You check analytics obsessively. You feel guilty when you miss days. All of it relies on willpower and your internal motivation, and it breaks as soon as life or your job actually gets busy, which, surprise, surprise, is always the case for founders. And then there's the systems approach, right? You just know what to do, you're on a schedule, and you execute week over week. And you make the system so simple that it can't fail if you stick with it over time. That's the approach that works. So you batch your content, you schedule it ahead of time. You have dedicated time blocks for your engagement. You've got everything managed in one place. You review your analytics weekly, not daily, not hourly. You run on structure and not on motivation. It's a checkbox item, but you know exactly what to do. It's not daunting. Because without a system, LinkedIn will expand magically to fill in all your available time. The feed, the notifications, the guild, it's engineered to keep you there. That's why they changed the algorithm so much. To keep you there, to suck you in even more. And without a system, LinkedIn becomes your full-time job. I guarantee I've been there. But I believe that for founders, that's not success. That's a fucking trap. So let me show you a system that will actually work for you. And I know it will because it works for me. And I'm a guy that doesn't like to write content, doesn't like to talk about stuff, and doesn't like to spend time on LinkedIn ever. 3 parts to it: consistent content, strategic engagement, and connection and pipeline. And basically the way I like to look at this is to apply the Pareto principle 80-20 rule to all of these. I'll show you each one of them in principle, and then I'll show you how I actually do it. Consistent content for sure is the foundation. 3 to 4 posts per week, scheduled in advance, quality over quantity. Especially as you're starting out. As you progress and as you have more posts to work with and you've built up a bit of a backlog, you can ramp this up. So I'm posting now 7 days a week, and for sure, more is more, but you really don't have to do this for the system to work. Stick to 3 or 4, what you feel comfortable with. The key for sure is batched creation. Don't write something every day. That's exhausting. If you have an idea, note it down for your batch writing session. Set aside like an hour a week, create everything, schedule it, walk away. Here's how I actually do it. I sit down usually after I record this video, so on a Saturday in my case. Pick a day that works for you, and then I go and plan my week. Good place to start is just look at your calendar. You can see here, this is the current week, 7 scheduled posts. Basically, Content generates a content plan for you. It pairs post category, growth, authority, or personal with one of your topics, and it makes it very easy for you to get started. What I actually like to do is use the Pro feature here in planning, and I basically queue stuff for the next week here into writing, and then the ghostwriter will go out and write 3 drafts for every idea for me, and then I just have to sit down, pick one draft that I like, tweak it a little bit, create an image for it, and we are good to go. You can see here we've just recently added a nifty little feature, and that's an AI-powered infographic generator, because in case you didn't know, infographics perform really, really well. Basically, you just need to go to infographic, select a style, select your brand colors. We will persist those for later. And then let's just do one here, create an infographic with 1 click. And here we go. It will basically take your post, talk sense into it. We have like an infographic designer agent in the background that will define how this looks. And then we use Gemini Nano Banana Pro to generate this. And yeah, once your AI in Content is well trained, this takes anything between 30 minutes and an hour per week for me. Like, I have to do minimal tweaks only at this point to my posts. And it's more just like, what kind of media fits with it? Generate that. Is it a slideshow? Is it an infographic? Is it a picture of me? Whatever you like, and done, right? So that's part 1. Batch your content, schedule it, use the formats that are working, and move on with your life, right? We made it as easy as possible. We have an AI carousel generator, AI infographics generator, AI image generator, so you can really get this good attention-grabbing media out there very, very simply. Part 2 is the strategic engagement. And this, really think of it as your multiplier. And there's 2 things here. First, reply to every comment on your post. That should be a non-negotiable. The way I do it, I know when my post goes live, I go in 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later, and then I just batch reply. And then maybe towards the end of the day, I go in and batch reply to the next set of comments. Second one is comment to 5 or 10 strategic profiles daily. That shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, I guess. Here's the key when you do that. Focus on your ICP and people in your space that already cater to your ICP. Don't just comment on random stuff. Pick strategic profiles, do it consistently. Eventually, those profiles will also start to comment back on your stuff, and you'll kind of like lean into their audience and capture a bit of their audience. And this section is where your relationship actually starts. Now, here's the problem I kept running into though. You post something, you get comments, but then to reply, you have to actually log into LinkedIn, and bam, you're in the doom scroll hell, right? 20 minutes later, you're still reading some random post or you're reacting to some random notification and you completely forgot why you went there in the first place. So we fixed this week. Look at this. If you are a pro user, we are now fetching your comments on your posts. And you can just go in and you see them here and you can reply to them directly from within Continent. So you can just say, thanks for the kind words. That's not a good reply, but for demonstration purposes, it's what we're just going to do now. The other part we cover in my feed, and this is where you can create, your own little private LinkedIn feed with only the people you care about. I would recommend having a list of your leads and those strategic profiles that you want to comment on every day. And then you can just open that and you comment directly on their post from within here. Bonus tip, it's very easy to delegate both tasks from Continent as well. Part 3 is connection pipeline. And this is kind of the simplest one, but it's the one that most people miss. But it's the most crucial one. This is where you turn connections into business. So track who engages with your content. We do this for you in the leads section in analytics. And you can see who interacted with your content and how often as an indicator on how interested they are. Another great source for this is just check the people that actually viewed your profile. And then do some warm outreach, right? The whole game is that content warms up your outreach and outreach converts them into conversation, like you connecting with them. Start a normal conversation, don't pitch. Get to know them. Think of this like a networking event. If somebody comments on a post about the problem you solve, that's not a random person anymore. That's a warm lead. All right, so here's the actual breakdown if you want to run this as a system. Content creation, 30 minutes, 1 hour per week, batched, done. Comment replies, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes per day. Do it inside Continent. You can do it inside LinkedIn if you don't get distracted too much and that works for you. Be strategic with your outbound commenting, like really look at those 10 to 15 profiles that you want to comment on and then do that regularly. For the connection and outreach part, again, batch it. Don't do it as a spur of the moment. Do it once per day or once every 2 or every 3 days. You actually don't have to do that daily. And just write to the people that have interacted with you or that you have outreach to. So in total for me, that's about 30 minutes to produce all of my content. That's 7 posts a week. And then that's 10, 15, 20 minutes per day in the comment part of it. And again, the super hack is that the commenting you can easily delegate to a VA if you have one. And yeah, that's as easy as it can get, right? No more endless scrolling, no more hours burned on the platform. It's a focused system. It's very easy. You know what to do. You can just check it off and it will compound over time. I'm curious, what is your biggest time sink on LinkedIn right now? Is it the content creation? Is it engagement? Is it getting sucked into the feed? Let me know, because I want to build more stuff around those pain points. So here's what I want you to take away from this. You don't need to become a LinkedIn influencer to generate business successfully on LinkedIn. Everybody is bitching about the algorithm, but in reality, you don't have to care, because if anything, you get better engagement now on your content. You reach more relevant people now. You reach less people, but you reach more relevant people, which is good news. You need a system that builds your authority and generates your pipeline and that doesn't burn you out. So, challenge time. Pick your time blocks, mark them down in the calendar, 1 session for content creation and small daily slots for engagement. Around your posts go live. Don't worry about when is the best time for your post to go live. Just align the two at a time of the day that works for you. Put them in your calendar, stick to them. Don't let LinkedIn spill outside those boundaries. That's how you can win as a founder on LinkedIn. If you want Continent to be the backbone for that, 14-day free trial, link down in the description. But honestly, whether you use it or not, just build the system that works for you, because that's what separates founders who win from founders who quit. There is no overnight success. There's a compounding strategy that wins over time. All right, going to write my content now. See you next week.